Happy Monday, it's your girl, Claudia Jordan. Welcome to Cocktails with the Queens. I'm back with my girls. Let me introduce them one by one because they deserve it. Please welcome Vivica A. Fox. What's up, girl?
Hey, girl, hey.
Hello. And please welcome Lisa Ray. What's up, Lisa Ray?
Hello, and happy Martin Luther King Day.
That's right.
Okay.
And last but not least, please welcome Selena Johnson. Hey, girl.
Yes, hello, Queens, and Lisa Ray. Echo her. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
That's right. Listen, we are here to dish about everything trending on social media and in the news. Now, tonight, we're talking to the daughters of Reverend Al Sharpton, Ashley and Dominique Sharpton, about the debut of their new FOXSOUL talk show. And later in the show, we're catching up with R&B singer who brings it every single time, Lyfe Jennings. Queens, what's up? How was your weekend? How's everybody doing today?
Fantastic. It's a holiday.
Yes. Can I tell you the craziest thing? Three of us are all working in Atlanta.
Yep.
Selena
Okay.
lives there.
Are y'all gonna hook up?
Are both. We're gonna try, but everybody,
I'm trying.
we're off working, so it may happen. But if not, we tonight here on Cocktails.
That's
with
right.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
I'm sure the soulmates would love a photo opportunity with the three of y'all. So if y'all can make it happen, please post a picture because we would love to see it.
Better believe it.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, y'all, exciting times. It's FOXSOUL's 3-year anniversary. Now, how does it feel to
whoop,
celebrate
whoop.
3 years of Black excellence? And Cocktails with Queens has been, very instrumental in the success of FOXSOUL. What do y'all think about this?
It's
In the
fantastic.
making.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's definitely history in the making, and it speaks a lot about our culture, and it speaks a lot about what our people want and what they want to see, what they want to hear every week. And I just feel like it's such a blessing to be able to have a platform, to be able to speak and, in any way that we can, healing, motivation, spirit. We have spiritual moments, honey. We dish tea. We give everything that, the good girlfriends would want to hear, and the good guy friends, honey, that tune in every week. So it's just a real privilege. I feel really blessed to be a part of the FOXSOUL family. And I'm so excited for 3 years because a lot of networks, honey, they don't last, but FOXSOUL is still picking, and it's Black people. So boom.
That's right. Lisa Ray, Vivica, any thoughts?
Yeah, I like the fact that, like Selena said, we have a platform and the audience has spoken because we're still here 3 years later. It allows us to learn, especially me, what's really going on in your timeline. I follow so many people, and then sometimes I miss a lot, and when I get to do the show on Monday, I have to become current on some of the things that we're talking about. And although I play devil's advocate all the time, I do. I get a chance to be opinionated with some things that, I've been wanting to say, and then ask myself, and then information that I've been wanting to know. So I'm glad that we're here. And then, our audience is glad that we're here too, because they chime in and send us fire, like y'all doing it, aunties. And so it's good to feel needed,
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay. And last but not least, Vivica, what do you think?
Well, the streaming show that is having a ton of success. Who would have thought that you could have seen Vivica Fox, Claudia Jordan, Lisa Ray, and Selena Johnson on a talk show that is must-see TV? Every week, like you ladies have said, we talk about current topics, politics, we talk about sports, we talk about all things happening. And I just enjoy our little messy Mondays that we have created. I go everywhere and have so many women and men come up to me and say, I like that little show y'all doing. I try to catch y'all on Monday. If not, I have it and I can look y'all up. So it's wonderful to be a part of this success. Thank you, FOXSOUL. But more importantly, thank you, Claudia Jordan, for getting these four queens together for a successful show that a regular network would never give the opportunity.
You know what? I want to thank you ladies because y'all came on as guests during COVID.
Yeah.
And it was undeniable, the chemistry. It was undeniable how fun it was. It was undeniable. And I'm like, why did nobody else think about this first with this combination? This is a lethal combination. Like,
FOXSOUL did it.
To have celebrities, everyone's a celebrity, of course, in their own right, and has a following, to be unapologetic and to speak about other celebrities, usually on talk shows, if there's celebrities on the panel, everyone's so curated and, well, fair or a curated, publicist approved comment. And on this show, I feel like we're very, very, very real and raw. And that's why you love us or you hate us, but you can't stop watching. I will say that.
Love
So
that.
thank you to you ladies for being so open about your own personal experiences and keeping it a buck, because a lot of people be paranoid about, well, my brand this, my brand that, and we just go in. And I love it. I'm here for it. So
I
thank
love
you,
it too.
ladies.
I do. And congratulations to FOXSOULs. Here's to another 30 years. Forget 3.
Okay.
Hey.
30 years and 30 times the paycheck. Okay, y'all.
That part.
Hey, soulmates, make sure you, before we get to the topics, make sure you grab your cocktails and join us for Queen's Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something new we're doing, but I'm super excited about this. Now, tonight's signature cocktail is the flavorful Johnnie Walker Red Label. That's Johnnie Walker Red Label. We all had to make up a recipe using Johnnie Walker Red Label and share them with you all, and hopefully y'all be inspired. So, Selena, what's the name of your signature cocktail, and what ingredients did you add to your drink?
Oh, well, honey, Miss Claudia, I took it all the way back to the clubs of early 2000s, honey. I went and made a whiskey sour with the Johnnie Walker Red Label, honey. I used 1.5 ounces of the Johnnie Walker. I used 3/4 ounces of lemon juice, 3/4 ounces of a little piece of simple syrup, threw a little orange on here, and and 3 little cherries for the, the look of it. And when I tell you it is tasty, it is. It took me all the way back to when I was first out in the club, honey. This was the cheap drink, but it was good.
So let me tell you something. I remember back in the days, you thought you was grown. You was like, yeah, I'll have a whiskey sour.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I don't really know I don't have a lot of recipes for drinks. So I am so happy about this new segment because I get to borrow from y'all's, y'all recipe books. Lisa Ray, you already know I love your cooking. So I'm looking forward to hearing your drink. But first, Vivica, what cocktail did you bring to happy hour?
Well, darling, as bad as the weather has been all over the place, I needed to go and feel like I was in Jamaica, hanging by the pool, celebrating my birthday again with all of y'all. So my drink is called Fire and Spice. It has 1.5 Johnnie Walker Red Label, some ginger ale, and a twist of lemon. It is so refreshing. I'm serious. It takes me back to Jamaica. Like I said, just kicking back, lounging, and toasting it up.
No problem, Mon.
That was such a fun trip. We had a good old time in Jamaica, didn't we, ladies?
Oh my gosh, best time ever. I still have our pictures. When I missed Jamaica, I looked at them. We was cute and tanned. Yeah.
Well, this year I turned 50, so I'm gonna try to do something big. I hope the queens can all come to my birthday. I don't know what's gonna be, but I got big shoes to fill in.
Somewhere tanning too.
You know it.
Okay.
Now, Lisa Ray, you are a master in the kitchen, so I know you created a nice cocktail for tonight's show. Please tell us about your drink, because you usually got the tea. I don't be thinking tea is in your cup, but I want to know what's in your drink tonight.
Oh, look at you. But let me grab my drink so you can get the visual of it, because I had to invite Johnny on over to my house over here to the set where I met in Atlanta. Okay. So this right here, I call it Johnnie Walker Red Lemon Passion. Let me tell you what's in here now. 1.5 ounces of the Johnnie Walker Red Label. I did 6 shots of lemonade. I took 2 strawberries and cut it up, and I muddled it at the bottom of the glass. And I did 1 shot of Sprite for the fizz, you know what I mean, of it. And I stirred around like this, like that, you know what I mean? Add a little ice, let me get a little ice, drop, bam, like that.
In the house.
Toss it up, okay?
That looked like something,
Lisa Ray, is that the when you did the thing with the cherries, it turned it a pretty red.
It's pretty hot by strawberries.
Yeah.
All these good old recipes. Okay.
Well, what about yours, Miss Claudia?
Well, name of my signature cocktail is Simply Johnny. Now I added Johnnie Walker Red Label, 1.5 ounces, some Simply lemonade because it's my favorite drink. I love Simply lemonade, and a square of vanilla extract to cut down on, kind of give it a little something like exotic, something exotic. Give me a little tropical feel to it. Let me see if it tastes good though. I don't know yet. Hold on, let me see.
I never would have thought about vanilla extract.
Yeah, that's really interesting to do the vanilla.
Before you drink it, you smell it, and Like it's like it hit your nose first. You're like, I'm about to tear this up. So
Okay,
yeah,
it's gonna be gone by the end of the show, huh?
man, who you telling? It's gonna be one of those shows. Okay, listen, everybody. I'm so happy the queens got to share their own signature cocktails that they made up on their own. And of course, we want to encourage everyone to please drink responsibly at home. Be safe about this. It's fine to have a cocktail, but be safe and drink responsibly. All right, ladies, let's toast to a great show.
Hey,
salute, queens.
Salute.
This vanilla smells good. It's vanilla in.
I gotta be careful not to guzzle mine all the way down because it's so yummy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, ladies, it's okay for us to have a drink because today we are celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I want to go around the panel and ask, what does this day mean to you? Vivica, let's start with you first.
Gosh, MLK Jr. Day. You just wake up and feel proud. Martin Luther King Jr. made so many sacrifices that we are able to have the rights today and to vote and he just sacrificed so much for us. So for me, it's a day of Black excellence, to just celebrate a really good man. And I'm glad that they are finally giving him his statues, from that beautiful one that is in Washington, D.C. I had to stop by and go take a look at it. And I remember on my way to the airport, looking at it and feeling so proud because there's so many monuments and statues for, let's say, for our Caucasian forefathers, that it was good to have a brother up in there representing, standing proud.
That's right. Thank you so much. Lisa Ray, what does this day mean to you?
It says strength to me. It says power to me. I'm thankful for him because when you think of such a powerhouse of a man, you think about him, how he led so many people, the Million Man March. That to me was it when he did it, because it was like a slew of supporters out there for the cause. And I feel like also pretty much like what we feel like here on FOXSOUL with Cocktails with Queens. We are very opinionated and we stand on what we said and we said what we said, you know what I mean? And so he did not care about what a lot of other people said and thought how he should have been, could have been. He said, this is what I'm for. This is what I'm fighting for. My people will be heard and seen. And he stuck to it. And so many people were like, you're going to get killed. You're going to have, your family is going to be in trouble. And so much could have, would have been. And he said, I need to do that. So for that, when you go against the odds and you're able to really be successful and succeed in what your purpose is, I'm waiting for the next man that we can honor that holds a position like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did.
That's right. And Selena, what do you think about this day? What does it mean to you?
So many things. And, echoing off of Lisa Ray, courage, reflection, what Vivica said, sacrifice. And a big on reflection. It takes me to civil rights movement, and it takes me to truth, something that we're not very big on these days in terms of our government. So truth is something that Dr. King was, he was adamant about, telling the truth, regardless of the consequence. And reflection, it just, on this day and days like this in general, Black History Month, which is also coming, you just want to sit and think about where we've come from, how far we've come, and be so thankful to God. And then you also want to reflect on how far we have to go, because there's still a lot of work that we have to do. So I just, MLK Day just reminds you of, it makes you think of how far you've come and how far you need to go and what needs to happen in order for you to get to the next level. So, it means so many things, you know what I'm saying? And it in our culture, you know what I'm saying? For me personally, as a Black woman, you know what I'm saying? Strength.
I'm going to say this about Martin Luther King Jr. When people pass or are murdered, it's so easy for everyone to jump on the bandwagon and say how great of a person that man was. But how were they when they were around? And when he was alive, it wasn't always like that. And to me, that shows how much stronger of a human being you had to be to stick to your guns about what you believe in, despite all the hate you got from a lot of people who eventually came around once you passed. Then they were like, oh, he was a good man. But he got a lot of pushback when he was alive. And to stand strong when you had people that were against your message shows an extreme amount of strength and resilience. You know, that march on Washington that he had, that inspired the Million Man March that I was at 1995, was amazing. You know, and a lot of white folks tend to cherry pick the parts of the speech that they want to hear that makes it feel comfortable for them. But he said a lot of radical stuff as well. But he was right, y'all. And he stood on his ground despite the pushback. Do you know how hard that is in a world where people want you to cave in and go with the masses?
Yes.
This man's family was in danger. He had death threats, and he still stayed strong, and he pushed for nonviolence. And, you know, the fact this man, they don't make him like that anymore.
And to simply say that his wife stood strongly behind him with this fight shows a lot of strength on top of support. So this was his purpose. Like, look, I got the T-shirt on.
That's right.
Come on,
girl.
Yes. Yes.
Can I just say his wife, Coretta Scott King, it was not easy being married to this man. He was not a perfect man. I'm going to say this personally. But he had the right message for us and for America. And she stayed so strong and so solid despite all that she had to deal with, and the threats and the racism and the stuff that happens in marriages. Yeah. This woman is just as impressive as he is. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
True. Fact.
Agree.
All right, y'all. Listen, we got some cool guests tonight, and we're gonna get into it. So, listen, we have R&B singer who is amazing, Lyfe Jennings, that's gonna be joining us later on in the show. And also coming up next, we're talking to Dominique and Ashley Sharpton, the host of FOXSOUL's new talk show, The Sharpton Sisters. So stick around; you do not want to miss this. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We'll be right back with more and with our signature drinks with Johnny Walker Red Label when we return. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queen Soulmates. If you're enjoying the show on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, please leave some flames, some black fists, some fists up in the chat. We appreciate y'all. All right, y'all. Tonight we are talking to two queens who are continuing their father's legacy and are debuting their new talk show on FOXSOUL, The Sharpton Sisters. But first, let's take a look at a clip from their premiere episode.
President Barack Obama was speaking at Hampton University's commencement for 2005. And we were supposed to graduate. That was my class. Dad was excited. I remember you called me and you told me, and it was like, I had to tell you I wasn't graduating. And
what happened was one of his staff people.
That was whack.
One of his staff people was gonna have him acknowledge you, and that's why I had to call him and tell him you weren't graduating.
Whew. It was super embarrassing. Yeah.
Wow.
Would have been more embarrassing if he acknowledged you and you wasn't there.
You're right. You're right.
Please welcome Dominique and Ashley Sharpton. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
How are y'all doing today? And I'm sorry y'all don't have cocktails. Y'all at the office doing the Lord's work, but
yeah, King Day is definitely a day of service. So we are at the House of Justice in Harlem, where National Action Network, the organization founded by my father, Reverend Sharpton, in 1991. We have our annual King Day. We had President Joe Biden this morning in Washington, D.C., opening up with the breakfast, and then our public policy forum here in New York City with so many elected officials, because they wanted to lay out legislatively what they're doing to commit to Dr. King's legacy. And it was really important that they came to the House of Justice. They addressed the community at large on what they're committing to doing to keep Dr. King's dream alive. So it's a robust, active day, but we've been active.
But we were taught to take the day on, not the day off for Dr. King, because he was a servant. He was a servant.
Yeah.
So, you know, we service. Service is power.
Well,
we are proud of y'all sounding all smart and intelligent.
Lisa Ray, I miss you so much.
Well, we appreciate all the hard work. Now, Dominique and Ashley, today we celebrate the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. Why is today special for you and your families?
Well, I mean, it's special for us because, I mean, we were born into this. And so to really see the work that Dr. King has done, has set out, you know, I have a dream to hear how those words have really penetrated through a movement that has sustained so many years. My father, Reverend Sharpton, is a prominent civil rights activist in this, you know, in the nation. He's probably the leading civil rights activist of today who actually lived beyond being 40 years old. And they have a documentary out called Loudmouth that chronicles his life that spans over 40 years of activism. So, I mean, the fact that we are even sitting here talking to you today is a testament of the progress that Dr. King's dream speaks to, and the fact that we have these platforms and the fact that we're making progress. And whether we're talking about issues in healthcare, education equality, safety, gun violence, police misconduct. I mean, there are so many things that we can talk about that are issues that will affect us, but what are we doing to actually change that? And so we are really blessed and grateful to actually be a part of working every single day on the ground to push and promote change in our community. And that's really living and embodying the spirit of Dr. King that he spoke so eloquently about and fought so hard to accomplish.
Dom said a handful, so I don't know if I have time to answer, but I'm an activist like Dr. King. I believe in God. He was a minister, and he was under the age of 40. To me, he's one of the greatest leaders that America has ever seen, not just of Black, but for humanity. And I think that his children, Bernice King and Martin Luther King III, and Yolanda King in her she was late, and Dexter King, they all carry the legacy forward in their own way. But this morning, Dominique mentioned that we had President Biden in DC, and I was able to join my father, Reverend Sharpton, in DC to host the president, but it was also an honor to host the King family. Martin Luther King III and Andrea Waters King, who was Martin Luther King III's wife, and their child, Martin Luther King's only granddaughter, Yolanda, was there. And to hear them speak, to hear them talk about the beloved community and to talk about the legacy and what's next, to talk about the Drum Major Institute that Martin Luther King founded before he died and that Coretta Scott King helped to keep going. And now they're keeping the legacy going. It was an honor to be there. But also, to quote Martin Luther King III, the dream has not been accomplished. We've created progress on it, but it's not been accomplished. So for us as activists in current day to be the children of one of the greatest civil rights leaders of this time, we must pay it forward and we must honor Dr. King, and we did.
That's right.
Wow.
And happy birthday, Andrea King. It is her birthday today. So.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Andrea.
Dominique and Ashley, just sitting here listening to you all speak so passionately and so eloquently about activism. It's mirror-like to your father. You are the daughters of, honey, you are the daughters of Reverend Al Sharpton. Please talk to us about what it was like growing up in the household of such a prolific man. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever feel that it was a lot of pressure for you to do this? Or do you feel like you just naturally came into this thing? Because it's given natural, honey, but just tell us about
I ran away from it. Yeah. I ran away from it. I look like my dad. Everybody since I was a little girl called me Junior. They say I'm passionate like him, but I used to hate people calling me Sharpton. I used to hate even being associated with all of it because it wasn't that I didn't understand it, but I wanted to have my own identity. And I felt if I chose the same path, then I could not be Ashley Sharpton. But then after Trayvon Martin was killed, and we didn't get justice for that, a spark ignited in me that I could not put out, and I've been outside ever since.
I know that's right.
I mean, I was born. We were both born in late '80s, 1980s, late 1980s, and I remember being 5 years old, 1991. When my father was stabbed in the chest, almost died, leading a protest in Bensonhurst to protest the killing of a young Black man, Yusef Hawkins, who was killed by an angry white mob. So we knew we had been thrust into this, and we kind of knew from little girls that we could possibly lose our dad to this fight for justice and equality. Wow. That's a real hard thing to have to deal with emotionally growing up. And so, as Ashley said, really, our whole identity growing up has always been, that's Sharpton's daughter one, Sharpton's daughter two, and never really understanding who Dominique was, who's Ashley, how do those girls fit in the world and maneuver in the world. And so we had to literally figure out how to find our own voice and how to really push through, when we were dealing with the fact that at the end of the day, sometimes you just wanted to see our dad. We just wanted him to be home, to talk to us, to tell us things, to teach us things. And he's been a great dad. Don't get me wrong. He was wonderful. I mean, I don't know how he does it all, honestly speaking. But at the same time, having those struggles definitely, speaks volumes to us finding our purpose and us being able to be even here on this platform to be able to tell our stories, because we definitely have unique experience.
And my mom was essential too.
Yeah.
Well, Dominique and
Yeah, give it
Alan,
up to the mom for sure.
you're forging your own path with your own talk show.
Oh my
Congratulations.
gosh, I still can't believe it. We be pinching ourselves like, is this for
This is
real?
crazy.
Like, this is
So,
crazy.
so tell us, what can the audience and fans expect from the Sharpton Sisters? Tell us.
Okay, so we are basically interviewing daughters and sons of legendary lives. Basically, we created a safe space with some of the top names, their children, and we ask them questions. We ask them controversial questions. We ask them fun questions. It's not very political, so I don't want everyone to go on expecting to see little Al Sharpton, even though that's in us, but that's not what the show is about. We will talk social justice. We have Malcolm X's daughter, Ilyasa Shabazz, our god sister, on with us. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. We have Cheryl Lee Ralph's children. We talked to Brandy's daughter, Sarai. We had a lot of fun talking on the show about the experience of being children of celebrities. Yeah. And a lot of people think it's all perks, but there's pain in it, but there's joy in it at the same time. And it's our journey, I feel like, needs to be told.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we all have a purpose to fulfill. All of us are a purpose. We all have to ignite who we are and identify that and figure out what our purpose is. And so we bring in that strength and that aspect to FOXSOUL. We're so excited. And so thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to really tell our story, to really share stories, to connect with, other people, who we want to connect with, who we want to be with, like who we look up to, this is all about bringing people together. We need to know our history, but we also need to pave it forward. So what are we going to do to really secure for the next generation where this is going and how this story ends? We got to tell our own story.
And the highlight was we got to interview Dad. That was fun.
Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
We got to interview our dad.
Speaking of that, Lisa Ray has a question about that.
Uh-oh.
I am sitting over here nodding my head from the beginning of when you all talk. Dominique, baby, I knew this was coming.
Oh, you said it.
Even when you used to tag along with your dad and we were on the road a lot together.
We had some time.
This baby is like a sponge. She is soaking up all of that. And Ashley, I'm just glad that you came around, girl, and that you all have each other as a support. And I'm glad that you all are being raw and honest, because a lot of these millennials and a lot of everybody need to hear the stories that it ain't easy. And it wasn't always easy for you. So on your first episode, as we saw a little earlier in our show, you share the story of your father telling former President Barack Obama that you were not graduating from college. So talk to me about that. How'd that go over?
Oh, I thought that was interesting, the clip to start with. But sheesh, throw me under the bus. But anyway,
bring it back around.
So basically, I was a nerd growing up. I was a nice child. Dominique was, she had the stories as a teenager. But when I got to college, I went to Hampton University, HU, in Virginia, and I'll just say I had a little too much fun. I didn't focus, and honestly, I never failed a test that I took. I only failed if I didn't attend. So it wasn't my studies. It was just I was not focused. I moved off campus, and I started majoring in parties and drinking and friends.
And then you made up for that, though. You made up for that.
I paid the price, Doc. I paid the price. Yeah. And that was one of the lowest moments of my life, to tell my father that the first Black president, was coming to my school, and I wasn't going to be graduating, crossing that stage. That was probably, if not the lowest moment of my life.
Yeah. And Dad had to actually call President Obama, because President Obama was going to acknowledge Ashley in his commencement speech.
That was in the clip.
That was in the clip. But Dad had to call President Obama and be like, yo, my daughter's not going to be there. Yeah.
But then in 2014, 2015, 2016, later in the journey, I ended up being a social media commentator during the Obama administration for the State of the Union address. So,
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. How'd you bring it back around?
That works, Doc.
That works. The kids how they can make it right. Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow, that had to be tough to deal with that.
Oh yeah, that was extremely hard. I went through depression. I went through a dark period, very, very dark period, and I had to get out of it. And I started a youth group while going through that dark period. So that was also a challenge in itself, to lead other young people while trying to lead yourself out of darkness.
Well, I want to give y'all props because listen, in America, the public is not always kind to celebrities nor children of celebrities. And he's not trying to be a celebrity. He's a civil rights leader. And people are very critical. So you guys have to have a thick skin to just to be you, to exist in this world. So Dominique and Ashley, what do you want people to take away from your show? I see a lot of positive comments in the chat right now. They're looking forward to your show.
We want people, of course, to see. I mean, we are probably representation of some of the most unknown, well-known people in the world. That's how I've categorized us, because I mean, it's just crazy. But like, we want people to be inspired. We want people to be uplifted. We want to provide some real stories. We also want for people to be challenged. We want for people to feel like they have to go away and do some homework on themselves and figure out, okay, where am I? What am I doing? What's next? I mean, this is a journey of a learning journey. But it's also a journey in a critical time in this country for us to keep reevaluating who we are and to keep acknowledging and defining who we are and what does that mean to the world? What are we doing in the world? You know what I mean? And so this is a defining moment for us. We hope that it is a defining moment for all of you as well. And we just
I'll be watching
with us and join us. Yeah.
Well, the Queens would like to welcome you officially to the FOXSOUL family. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. I grew up watching all of y'all. I've obsessed with all of y'all. So it's an honor, truly an honor. I think y'all are beautiful queens, and I thank you for your influence.
Now we and all of our soulmates get to be obsessed with you and your show. So Dominique and Ashley, thanks for joining us. Make sure you check out the season premiere of the Sharpton Sisters on Wednesday, January 18th. That's 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here and only on Fox. So we'll be right back. But listen, stick around because we've got R&B singer, crooner, Lyfe Jennings joining us. You don't want to miss this. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. If you're enjoying the show, please put some flames in the chat, soulmates. We appreciate y'all tuning in every week and showing us love. Now, tonight, speaking of love, we're talking to a multi-platinum R&B artist with social media buzzing after seeing his new music video, Till You Gone. Please welcome our friend, Lyfe Jennings. What's up, Lyfe?
Yay! What's poppin'?
How you doing, Lyfe? How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. It's love. How are you?
You good?
Yeah.
Well, listen, Lyfe, a few weeks ago, let's just jump right on into it. You posted on Instagram that you were considering not doing any more shows, and you added, you feel like you don't love this no more. I was horrified because I'm a big fan of your music. So what was behind your post, and do you still feel this way?
I just really be capping, man. Of course, I'll be promoting stuff, man. People want to hear about that. But I did feel some kind of way after, the little incident. Now I go to shows and I got cameras all in my face all the way through it. I'm not really feeling that, but it's a part of it.
And to be clear, so the people that don't know, people were like posting snippets from your concert on a note and trying to make fun. But that's what these morons on social media do to try to have a moment that weren't there for your full show. Because anyone that has followed you or gone to your shows knows that you give very much a great performance at all of your shows.
Yeah, and I'm not the greatest singer anyway. So
yes, you good. You all right. You great.
I'm gonna just keep it 100. It's thousands of people that can sing better than me, but it ain't thousands of people that's gonna try as hard as I do.
Well, they're not 1,000 people that sound like you, though. You have a unique sound. Nobody sounds like Lyfe Jennings, and so that makes you unique, and that makes you special.
I'll tell you, I had a little snippet of it. We did a movie together in Oklahoma last year called For the Love of Money, and so I got a chance to really, that's what I love about movies, and you get to build relationships. And he and I exchanged numbers, and every now and then he'll hit me up and say, "Hey, sister, how you doing?" So I appreciate that so much. I do have my own question, though. In a recent interview that you did with Bad TV, you shared your thoughts about masculinity and gender equality, and you said that there is no equality for women. So explain what you meant by that.
No, I mean, sometimes, because I'm in all women like myself, man. You so multifaceted, and you get to be so many things. Where a man, you kind of caged into this certain persona, and so when women try to say that they want equality with a man is mind-boggling because that can never happen. Because to me, y'all above me, y'all higher most of the things that a man does, and I don't feel like that. I need you to be masculine, run the household and all of that stuff like that. I don't really want to ever see you in the ring boxing against the Mike Tyson because to me, you know, there are some guidelines that need to be accepted with femininity and masculinity.
Okay. Well, when I do my pep rally, I'm sure gonna call you because you'd be great for it.
No,
4 minutes like that on our behalf. So thank you.
We're having a little trouble with the audio.
You can't hear me?
It's a little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
when
So,
you
and I want people to hear what you got to say.
Oh,
When you
just-
come forward, we can hear you.
Oh, right here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I talk low too, man.
That's that sexy R&B thing he doing too. That's all, like, that's all you doing.
Well, the internet has been buzzing since the release of your new music video, Till You Gone. So let's just take a look at the new music video right quick.
They gon' call cap on a glory. Life without a real about to be boring. Mama said they'll never love you till you're gone. So don't waste your time trying to please no bitch, nobody that don't believe in you. Get rich, get it now, cause when you leave this bitch, you can't take nothing. They'll never love you till you're gone.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Nobody sounds like Lyfe
Nobody.
Jennings, okay?
Nobody.
Yeah, it's a million people that can sing and they all down to the church and everything, but it's not everybody can sound, has a unique sound like yours. I absolutely love your voice. And we've been on shows before. You be turning up, you be shutting it down. But tell us, let me tell you something. We've been on shows and life gets busy. So I don't know where these people are talking about. Okay. But what inspired Till It's Gone? Because it's R&B, and you know, people love to be like, oh, R&B is about love and sappy stuff and all that, but this song is really saying something. You know, they don't love you until you're gone. So what inspired that record?
People gonna dislike me when I say this, but whatever. I just really felt like I felt some kind of way, even though, you know, Kanye may have said some, but not may have, he did say some things that were hurtful to a group of people, maybe several groups of people. And I don't necessarily condone that, you know what I'm saying? Not even in my own house, let alone on TV and stuff. But I just was tripping how many people were celebrating a black man losing his stuff, whether it's financially, mentally, socially, economically, or whatever. And I just don't applaud that shit. Like even with Kyrie Irving, you know, I just felt like, I understand that it's rules in certain demographics of everything that you do. But regardless of them rules, I think that we got self-rules. And those self-rules is I don't ever want to see another black man suffering on no level. And I'm never going to applaud that shit. I don't care what he did. I'm never going to applaud that shit. I'm always going to be rooting for him to come back, you know?
So
that's fair.
That was your inspiration behind having that in your video?
Yeah, because I just kind of wanted to send a message to everybody going through similar situations in a scale, is that it don't really matter what they say, good or bad, because they ain't gonna never really love you till you're gone. I'm sure you guys know nobody probably believed in you in your hometown until you went somewhere else and was successful. And then when you die, all of a sudden everybody knew you and everybody want to post these pictures and all this stuff, man. Yeah.
You have valid points in that. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. That's a perspective. That is a popular perspective as well.
I was with my girl today and we were talking about this, about why, like, when you're around and things are good and you're available, you don't get that love. And when you're gone, either a breakup or a death, then everybody's like, oh, they were so great. They were so this. And we don't take the time to value people when they're here and available to us. And I hate that. So I think it's very relevant and a very profound statement that you're making there. I really do.
Yeah, I think that people need to know that perspective too, so they know exactly where you're coming from, because that's the other side of it. You know what I mean?
Not to be bent out of shape when a lot of people waiting on their flowers. It's a popular saying, you know, they ain't gonna get your flowers. Give me my flowers now. I don't really care nothing about your flowers because my eyes are got like the blind as them horses got. You dig? I'm focused on what I'm doing. I ain't got time to wait on your applause, your flowers, nothing. You know.
So what you do for you. And you don't need no accolades. You don't need no grace. You don't need no applause. This is your gift to the world that you give to them. And you take it or you don't.
Absolutely. And I wasn't always like that. You know, I'm still growing into myself. I mean, sometimes, of course, you want to be, you know, celebrated for something that you do. But in the end time, as you are growing, you got to understand that that's selfish. Because are you going to stop doing what God gave you a gift to do for your people just because somebody is not celebrating?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I was gonna say, because you know, as entertainers, you know, we have to separate ourselves in a way where we understand service. What God has given us is service. It's a gift to serve others. So it is important how we impact people, because the gift is for the service of others. You know what I'm saying? So I feel what you're saying, but I do feel too, we have a responsibility to be, you know, mindful of how we affect others and how we affect the world. You know what I'm saying? Because God gave us that gift to be able to do that power to do it. So when you have that power, you have to take care of it. You have to be responsible in some ways. You know what I'm saying? You have to please everybody, but you do have to be responsible when you have that floor, when you have that platform.
Well, Lyfe, we appreciate you coming by here. We appreciate your message. And I feel like that stuff that people do on social media affect you in a way. And we are here to tell you that you are the shit. You are unique. You have a voice that like nobody sounds like you. And I don't give a goddamn with some fan at your show that paid to come see your show tries to shade you because they paid for a ticket to your show and they got a show. They try to get clout up for your name. You are amazing in what you do. And I hope you never doubt that.
And
brother,
keep speaking on our behalf too.
Brother, I know what you came from and you've come far and you're doing your thing. And I hope you never doubt that. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
Y'all make sure y'all send us your sizes. I got my little clothing brand. Not little brand called Repetition. I want to put that. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all send y'all action. We're gonna get y'all some stuff.
And Lyfe, I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you ever want to do a music video with some beautiful popping queens, we are available. All right, y'all. Lyfe Jennings, thank you so much. We love you, King. And anytime you need to promote, you come holler at your girls because we got your back. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Love you.
We love you. We'll be right back with Cocktails of Queens after the break. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. Welcome and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Hey, y'all, when I saw this story, I was like, listen, I cannot wait to hear what the Queens have to say about this story. All right, Seneca Scott, a cousin of Coretta Scott King, is calling out the $10 million sculpture that was dedicated to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott King, in Boston. Now, the massive bronze piece titled The Embrace features two sets of arms holding each other, which is an artistic interpretation of the classic photo of Dr. King and Coretta Scott King hugging after he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. Now, Seneca told the New York Post, the mainstream media was reporting on it like it was all beautiful because they were told they had to say that. Seneca added, but then when it came out, a little boy pointed out, that's a penis. And everyone was like, that's a big old dong, man. What are your thoughts on this work of art that was dedicated to Dr. King and Coretta Scott King? Selena, I see you looking down. I know you about to call it a fool. What you think?
Honestly, Claudia, I can't even call it a fool because when I saw it, I didn't know what it was. It looks like you can't make it out. And if it's supposed to be an embrace, it doesn't look like that at all. And actually, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the reveal of it. I think they could have done a better job. I mean, absolutely. I don't know who did the sculpture. I don't know who, created or did the blueprint, child, but the statue ain't statuing. It's just,
that part.
It's the sculpture ain't sculpturing. I don't know what it is, and so
I don't even know who approved it. I mean, don't you supposed to get an approval and say, do you like this? At least to the family or something. They spent $10 million on that shit. They should not have. They got gypped. Period. They could have came up with a lot of other things than just this, whatever. I see fingers. That's what I see. And I mean, but what is that thing in the middle? Because I agree, it looks like a eggplant. Looks like a big old jack. Vivica, what you think?
As Lisa Ray said, $10 million on that? No, that sculpture ain't sculpturing. So listen, I think we need a big old do-over. Literally, that was just.
We need to melt it down, honey, and try again.
I saw fingers and like a little bracelet and a ring.
And here's the thing, they keep disrespecting and disappointing. And that's what I don't like either. This is a very important statue. And you give us this, it's bullshit.
Can we see the picture one more time? Because it looked like to me, like somebody was putting their own head up their butt. That's what it looked like to me.
No, that doesn't look like a head. What is it? That looks like an eggplant.
I don't know what it is.
It looks like an organ. And then at the top, it's almost giving you like a little alien invasion. I just don't get it.
I think Dr. King and Coretta Scott King are too important of two figures. Exactly. They could have showed their faces like this was whack. $10 million.
Give us something.
Right.
Give us something.
And how many beautiful portraits of is there of them? Right. Kissing each other, embracing each other, praying with each other, side by side with each other.
And the one on Lisa Ray's shirt is sharp. They could have did that.
Yeah.
That's why I got my natural right now. You know what I mean? Power to the people.
They don't waste it. They said the family, MLK the third approved it, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
Maybe they asked him when he was at happy hour because that was not a good look. All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back with our last segment of Cocktails with Queens when we return. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. Hey, y'all, in honor of the Critics' Choice Awards, let's play a game of Hot or Not to find out which celebs understood the assignment. Are y'all ready to play Hot or Not?
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, first up, we have Kerry Washington. Was she hot or was she not?
Hot.
I don't like it.
There we go.
Medium.
I'm gonna give you lukewarm. It was cute, but she didn't look bad. Wasn't like special. All right, next we have Janelle Monáe. Was she hot or not?
Hot.
Hot.
Very cute. She nails it. Always in black and white. Time. She fly as hell. Beautiful. Yep. What about Jay Ellis? Was he hot or not? Jay Ellis.
I can't really tell.
I don't understand the shoes. I can't see them very well.
You ain't the white people out of there now.
He's trying to pick up a Papa White with the
I don't like the shoes.
Yeah, lukewarm.
The suit is nice. Yeah.
I don't like the shoes. All right. We have one of the stars of Abbott Elementary, Tyler James Williams. Was he hot or not?
I feel like the shirt is too casual for the suit.
Shoes too, not.
Yeah. I don't like the black shoe with the black tank. It's giving matchy.
This is what I try to tell people. You know, when you get a theme when you go to an award show, that it's the Critics' Choice Award. You know, that could have, if you were going to be that casual, pick something fly casual, like the time when Sharon Stone came with the T-shirt and the skirt. You know what I mean? She had a theme and she killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was giving. That was giving.
That T-shirt look didn't work.
It was giving Miami Vice.
It's giving WNBA coach, lesbian. All right, next we have Angela Bassett. Was she hot or not?
Hot.
On fire. Queen Mother do no wrong.
Can't touch her. She's so hot.
Queen Mother is queening.
Yes.
I think on the red carpet, Angela Bassett, Halle Berry, and J-Lo, they always nail it. I think they always do good.
Pretty much.
All right, next we have Niecy Nash. Was she hot or not?
Hot. I like that dress.
Hey, I say this to Niecy because remember when we had Big Niecy and now she's gotten down and she's kept herself to the weight that she wants to. So now she's being able to fit a different variety and styles of dresses. So, she's voluptuous up here, you know what I mean? And she's showing you and letting you have them. So, I think that she was hot.
She's giving you movie stars. She did good.
Yeah.
She got them big old tatas and that little snatch waist and that beautiful face. She looks good. I like her. And last but not least, we have Cheryl Lee Ralph. Where she? Oh yes,
Hot,
Miss Cheryl Lee Ralph with the golden blonde.
Yes,
You better,
but the hair.
You better finish off the looks with the golden touch, because
Yes,
Mama
honey.
won last night and got on stage and said, "Don't nobody gotta like you. You got to like yourself."
Okay.
No winning. So her speech was amazing. Her dress was amazing. She's just having an amazing season.
And she's
Her
all
hair
down
was
for
beautiful.
children, honey. So she knows she's gonna get a good old queen to fix her up and get her all the way together in snatches.
Yeah.
So she is representing. Bravo.
And can I
Her
tell you
hair
what
was
I love about
gorgeous, and
Shirley
she looked
Ralph
very
is-
young, too.
Is each show she is giving you a different look. You know,
Yes.
sometimes people during award season, they'll get you a certain look, a certain pattern, and it happens that way throughout the whole show. I mean, the whole award season. Cheryl, honey, when she showed up with that little diamond bling and on the leg
Right.
and was sparkly, I was like, I want to copy that hairdo.
It was her time. It's her time.
She looks
it's
great.
her turn.
And
It's
when
her turn.
FOXSOUL was in the studio in LA, she used to come by and she's done the show. She's been absolutely amazing. Now, listen, we want to thank Ashley and Dominique Sharpton and Lyfe Jennings for joining us. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. Make sure you check out the season premiere of the Sharpton Sisters on Wednesday, January 18th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on FOXSOUL. Stick around for a brand new episode of Brutally Honest with the Jasmine brand. We will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.